When you think of how cyber attacks affect you, you probably imagine your Instagram being hacked or your details stolen. But they can be a whole lot worse.
Heating, our cooling, our electricity, our economy is at stake.
Military value.
Increasingly, cyber attacks are becoming more physical and more dangerous.
I was just really shaking uncontrollably. I could not control my emotions because, you think that people are in danger.
Now the first ever criminal case has opened in Germany after a patient died during a cyber attack on a hospital. Experts have predicted for years that someone may soon be killed. And now the head of the EU's cybersecurity division has told the BBC governments must take action.
I think it's very important that company leaders take cybersecurity extremely seriously.
So which parts of modern life are most at risk and what's being done to protect us? One of the areas where the stakes are highest is transport, no more so than in aviation. As far as we know, a plane has never been hacked. But a grounded fleet, thanks to COVID-19, means we're able to examine the likelihood of cyber attackers taking control of a flight.
Well, here's something special. I've never been in first class myself, and very, very few people have seen what we're about to show you. This is the avionics bay, and all of this is the computing power of this Boeing 747. If you were a hacker, you'd think this is where you'd want to get to.
Ken Munro and his team are experts in cybersecurity and, as pilots themselves, pretty well placed to assess how vulnerable planes are.
A 3.5-inch floppy disk. We just don't see that anymore. You've got lots of old connections. Those signals aren't encrypted. There's been some research shown that allows you to, if with the right equipment, is convince an instrument landing system to report slightly wrongly, to make the plane potentially land in the sea instead of on the runway.
Vulnerabilities like these have been found across the industry and have largely been dealt with, including by Boeing. Researchers like Ken say overall, the risk to life is low.
Why are you so calm about the idea of actually it'll all be okay? Because there's a human in the loop. A really, really well-trained person. And then there's someone on the ground, air traffic control, going, hey, something's not, what are you doing? You're in the wrong place.
It's the less Hollywood but far more grounded settings that cybersecurity experts are more concerned about. Places like factories and industrial complexes. In 2014, somewhere in Germany, hackers took control of a steel mill.
Yeah, these are steel wheels from trucks.
Matthias is a cybersecurity expert who helps protect companies from this sort of attack.
There's a lot we don't know about the 2014 attack. We don't know where it was, we don't know which company was affected. We know it definitely happened.
The cyber attackers hacked the network through the office computers. They jumped into the production environment, went into the blast furnace. They created an unscheduled, uncontrolled shutdown.
And the government reports described it as devastating physical damage. That is very unusual in a cyber attack, isn't it?
Yes, it is, as of today, but the more and more is digitalized in a smart factory, the higher the risk that this becomes the normal in cybersecurity.
It's not the first time production lines have been attacked by hackers. Multiple manufacturers have been forced to shut down workshops in the last few years. But only once before has physical damage actually been caused, in 2012's famous Stuxnet attack on Iran. So what can be done to make sure that companies are doing everything they can to protect workers in places like this?
I think it's very important that company leaders take cybersecurity extremely seriously. And I would also encourage policymakers to think about what is the liability of a CEO of a company to ensure that the systems or services are cyber secure. Because they, in the worst case scenario, might have consequences on human life.
But what about the cases where hundreds or thousands of people are put in danger? Critical infrastructure sectors like the energy grid are constantly being attacked, often by rival countries, and sometimes the hackers get through. Ukraine was hit by suspected Russian hackers in 2015 and 2016. The lights went out for hundreds of thousands of people. Marina was one of the cybersecurity experts sent to help.
Oh, I was extremely angry. First of all, it is my motherland, clearly. Secondly, actually somebody intentionally attacked critical infrastructures, which is vital to the well-being and health of the civilian population.
Despite their sophistication, both power cut attacks were fixed within a few hours. But sometimes attacks that are not targeted or controlled can be just as dangerous. When healthcare providers are hit, even by mistake, it can be deadly. The case that German police are investigating started when a cyber attack took a hospital offline in Dusseldorf, apparently by accident. Doctors rushed a patient to another facility to save her life, but the woman died en route. And now police are conducting the first ever homicide case where hackers could be to blame. During the 2017 WannaCry attack in the UK, hospital patients also needed to be diverted for emergency care when hundreds of healthcare facilities were knocked offline. There's no evidence anyone died, but it caused chaos. Jessica Cole was caught up in it when she needed urgent help for her 3-year-old daughter.
In cases like my daughter, it wasn't too bad in the fact that they didn't really need to look into her records. It wasn't like a reoccurring thing. It was a here and now thing. But it was when it came to trying to print off her information, her hospital admission, that was like the really hard bit. Probably one of the most concerning moments as a parent that I've had, with my daughter kind of passed out across me, and just no care, nobody checked on us, nobody even asked if she wanted a blanket. It was just chaos.
Overall, the risk of a deadly cyber attack remains low, but the events of recent years all point in the same troubling direction. The cyber world is increasingly impacting us physically.